Hello, hello. How are we doing? Check in. Do say hi. Lovely to be here with you all. How has your week been so far? How are you doing? Lovely to see you. Hello from Germany. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Roxana. Hey. How are you doing? Let me know. How are you all? How's everything been? Lovely to be here with everybody. Thrilled to be running today's session with you all. And we're just going to give it a couple of minutes while everyone has a chance to hop online and to join today's session. Great to see you. Really great to see you. And I hope everyone got the right link. I know there's a bit of confusion around that. So hoping you all got what you needed. I'm really looking forward to being with you all today and to really help dial up your confidence. And we are going to be using some Slidos today, so you'll need your mobile if you've got one, or you can click on your laptop. That's no problem either. Seeing lots of lovely, friendly names I know very well, and some new ones too, which is great. And we've got well over 200 of you online. Hi, James. How are you? Nice to see you. Really fabulous to be here with you all. Hi, Samantha. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Just giving it another minute because there's an awful lot of you that signed up today. So, and there's still people joining. So I'm just giving it another minute while everyone joins. Lovely to be here. And I was due to be at home delivering this because I've got massive screens and microphones, but instead I'm in the office on my laptop. And I hope that that's going to work just fine. I hope it's going to work just fine. I'm really looking forward to dialing up your confidence today. I'm really looking forward to it. And you sent me lots of brilliant questions. And I think it's probably time that I got going now. And so welcome to today's session. And I have taken some of I think probably, I mean, I've been working with placing and training executive assistants, personal assistants, and business support professionals for 27 years now. And we think I've probably interviewed well in excess of 30,000 business support professionals in that time. Well over. And over the last decade, since I've been training and developing EAs and PAs, I've trained many thousands. And confidence is so much of a barrier to your achieving your potential. And it comes up in nearly every single group that I'm working with right now. And so it feels like this push-pull because there's never been more capacity and capability in the administrative profession for creating impact. And yet there's also this really sort of strong draw back, this sort of pull in the opposite direction. And confidence seems to be so much of that. And today I want you to interact, communicate, participate. Let's really sort of send a collective energy to the group because so often we think these things are a me thing and actually they are a we thing. I've taken some snapshots of workshops and work that I've been delivering in EA and communities all over the world. And I'm going to share some of those with you today and really empower you to look at ways that you can dial up that confidence that I know is within all of you, because we're actually all born with equal levels of confidence. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that in just a second. So for any of you that don't know me, for any of you, is this the first time you're on a webinar with me today or a workshop? Is this your first contact with me? And I'm Sarah. Well, hello, welcome, welcome. Lovely to see some new people with us today, as well as lots of people I know and am aware of. Well, fantastic. Well, just to let you know a little bit is I haven't just evolved as somebody that's a founder of a EAPA recruitment business into training. I've actually been really intentional about that training, and I've taken now, I think I'm on my 6th different coaching qualification. My most intense took 2 years, and I had to deliver 300 hours worth of coaching as part of that accreditation. And I have been really committed to going on my own journey of self-development. But I think mostly I started to feel really frustrated at meeting so many of you that are so incredible and have such enormous potential, and noticing that you were being held back by lack of self-belief or inner critic or self-sabotage, and generally sort of wrapped up in feeling not as confident in your own skin and using your own voice. And I don't want that to be the case for any of you. I have been there myself, and I used to have a very strong inner critic, and now I don't have that. I have very much an inner coach, and I want for all of you to have that too. And so this is why I spend a lot of time not just being brought into organizations, but to speak or to deliver workshops, but also running free sessions like today. And I want to be really open with all of you. And that is, at the end of today's session, I'm going to share with you a new course that we have launched that I am very, very, very excited about. So I don't want any of you to feel that I haven't been open with that. I do want to share the details of that course with you all. It's been the sum of the last couple of years of work, and it feels really important. So I hope that you'll allow me to share that with you. Okay, so what does confidence mean to you? What does it mean? What word comes to mind? You can scan the QR code, or you can join Slido with your laptop and pop that code in. What does it mean? Let's just share what this means to us. Why does it matter? What does it indicate? What does that look like? It's being comfortable with yourself, feeling great in your own skin. Yes, not being afraid to own your competence. I love this. Keep them coming. Self-acceptance, my goodness, isn't that powerful? Being brave, backing your decisions, knowing your worth, strength. Okay, somebody's put out of reach. Okay, I hear you. And right, your team valuing you. Yeah, these all resonate with me too. Strength of character, speaking up. Yes, yes, yes. Like all of these that are being shared for sure. Yeah, it's a pretty great place to be, isn't it? This place of confidence. You feel capable, limitless, centered, powerful, valued, respected, empowered. You're in your own space. You feel bold, inner calm, lovely. Okay. Empowerment. So I think, keep these coming, by the way. I think we can all probably agree this is something we all want more of. Am I right? We all want more confidence. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, Alison, that's an interesting comment. Overcoming, yeah, absolutely. Feeling more chilled. But I think there is a peacefulness actually that comes with confidence. I think you're absolutely right. I think that's a great observation. There is a stronger sense of peacefulness, along with powerful, as Elsie's mentioned, along with that. Okay, well, what I cannot possibly imagine is that you on this call today would not want more of all of these extraordinary benefits of confidence. And I can't think of any of you that do not deserve more. Not that you don't necessarily just want it, but you deserve it. You absolutely deserve to go through the rest of your life, the rest of your career, the rest of your relationships with more of everything you have all just shared. 100%. You all deserve more of this. I'm going to touch on how to get there today. So, who has been told this? Oh, for goodness sake, just have more confidence in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Oh, you're fine. You'll be absolutely fine. You'll ace it. Just believe in yourself. And how's that worked out for you guys? Has that helped? Has that suddenly made you much more confident? My guess is Probably not. I've never makes you feel worse. Yes. Just believe we do it all the time, don't we? And just believe in yourself some more. You'll be absolutely fine. But actually, it doesn't work because it's an inside job. Building our confidence is an inside job. And I have this brilliant 5-step process that we're going to touch on today. And so I want you to grab a notepad or a pen. I want you to get ready to write down what matters to you. Personalize this to you. And the reason I spent the last couple of years developing the course we've developed that I'm going to share with you a bit is specifically for this reason. I want you all to be able to access your true self-confidence. So I'd love you to join this quiz, if that's okay. Which of these are true? Which of these do you think are true? These statistics. So only 4% of women believe they're highly confident in their abilities at work. 77% of people experience anxiety about public speaking. Women rate their own performance 33% less than men. Imposter syndrome affects at least 70% of us. And this was an American study, but low self-confidence can decrease your salary potential by up to $32,000 a year. That's in dollars. So which ones of those do you think are true? So some of you think all of them. What are you thinking? Okay, let's see. So for those of you that said all of them, you are absolutely right. And one of the most shocking, I think, out of all of these, well, for me, they're all shocking, and I don't want them to be true for any of you any longer, is that only 4% of women believe that they are highly confident in their abilities at work. And that was a very big study completed by KPMG of women in leadership roles. You can't get your head around that, can you? That 96% of women are in the workplace not highly confident in their ability at work. Well, I don't want this to be the case any longer. It's not okay for us to spend our lives feeling like this, living like this, experiencing the world like this. And these are the people that answered closest and quickest. So well done, Claire. Okay, so let's just start. I'm sorry, I've just gone through. First of all, I want to let you all know that confidence is a skill. It's not something you don't have. It's just a skill you have not yet fully developed. That's all. So the first revelation, if it's a revelation to all of you, is that this is just a skill that you're ready to work on. You're here today because you're ready to work on it. You've got that intention. And by the way, that is the very biggest step you'll ever take in terms of developing any skill is you've shown up today. You're ready to do the work. And that is everything. And the second part I really want to highlight to you, after what we've just heard, if being hard on yourself worked, you would feel fabulous. Now, I'm guessing you are not here because you feel fabulous about every aspect of who you are. I'm guessing you are here because you're probably being pretty critical of yourself, pretty hard on yourself, pretty tough on yourself. You're speaking to yourself in a way that you absolutely would not speak to a colleague or a friend or a child. That's my guess. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, okay, good. So we are in good company. So as we go through today's session, if you've got a pad and a pen, scribble down what you are going to intentionally focus on. Might just be 3 things in this process that I'm about to take you through. And this process works. It has worked in multiple organizations I've worked with. It's worked for multiple individuals I've coached. It's worked for my team. It's worked for candidates that we place. And it's all of the foundation the course we're going to talk about later, of just what I've just said to you, which is if being tough on ourselves worked, we'd all feel fabulous right now. It doesn't work. Your first step to reflect on today is compassion. Where in your life, as a business support professional, could you be kinder to yourself? I wonder. Let's have a look at this. So where do you notice there's an opportunity for compassion? I spoke to an EA last week who had made one mistake on an email confirming a meeting. That mistake was 3 weeks prior, and she was still beating herself up about it. Pippa, if you're online, would you mind logging me out of my cloud call, please? If you can. So this was 3 weeks later. Does this resonate with any of you? And it was still going round and round in her head. She was still having constant conversations with herself. She was still beating herself up about it. What was being gained by that? She felt de-energized, she felt demotivated, she was apologizing continuously, it was lowering her self-esteem, she, in her own words, was stress eating. What an opportunity for compassion in that moment. But instead, she was choosing correction, being the sternest, most lacking in compassionate person towards herself. But what would she have said to somebody else if that had happened? Hey, you're just human. You're just human. So this takes me to my first point with compassion, is your opportunity to reframe. We are all human. We are going to have intrusive thoughts. We are going to be, especially as someone said, when we really care about something, we are going to be hard on ourselves. Absolutely. So there's absolutely okay that one of these thoughts might pop up. And the sort of thoughts we know that people experience most often is you're stupid, or you're unlovable, or you'll never be enough, or they will never approve of you, blah, 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 blah. There's so many of these thoughts that as human beings we all have. But the genius is we have, all of us, equal capacity to reframe those thoughts. And when we do that, we start to rewire our automatic thought process. So my challenge to each of you with this first step in compassion is to have a think about a thought that you often think about yourself that's negative. And how could you reframe that? How could you reframe that? Because and this is what I worked on with this particular executive assistant, was her limiting belief, or her thought around that mistake that had happened was, I am stupid and incapable. That was when we got down to it, that was the thought that she was having. I am stupid and incapable. And what we did was we reframed that thought to, I am human, I can make errors, but I choose to learn from them. I am human, I can make errors, but I choose to learn from them. In that moment of reframe, can you feel the difference in even just the energy? And that moment of compassion is found in the moment of reframing a thought. That is the moment. So how do we apply compassion? How do we start to really think about, so I've talked to you about reframe, but there's some other tips and tricks I want to use that I've worked with a lot in organizations when I go in to deliver training for groups of administrative professionals. Be elastic, like this. So what you've got to remember is we cannot possibly be perfect all of the time. And when we afford ourselves a bit of elasticity, we are, as a result, automatically much more likely to be compassionate towards ourselves. And guess what compassionate people are? More confident, and more successful, whatever that looks like to them. So if you have set yourself a goal, if you are delivering something, I want you to exercise some elasticity. We see it all the time with diets, don't we? You know, you end up eating, I don't know, if you sort of really want to be a healthier eater and you end up eating a burger and 2 bars of chocolate, suddenly we throw the baby out with the bathwater and we're fully doubling down on those burgers. Whereas actually, if you had a bit of elastic compassion, you could remind yourself, that's absolutely okay that I had a bit of a blowout. It's actually really nice. And now I can return and refocus on the way I want to eat. But we don't, do we? We get hard on ourselves. And so in this moment of reframing and elasticity, you start to develop what I mentioned at the beginning, your inner coach over your inner critic. And that in itself is so powerful at building that confidence skill. Visualization is also very powerful. If you are going into a review, if you are going in to talk to your executive about something that matters to you, if you are going to speak up in a meeting, share an idea, visualizing yourself doing that, it being successful and a positive outcome really supports that compassion muscle, all of which will really help you. Because I think of most people's committees as that sort of run the show in their brains as a bit of a shitty committee. And I don't want you to have a shitty committee. I want you to have a committee that feels like coaches, cheerleaders, partners, and champions. And when we start reframing our thoughts, when we start visualizing, I'm really sorry that my phone is going again. When we start visualizing and reframing our thoughts, Pippa, would you mind trying just to log me out of Cloud Call if at all possible? When we try to reframe those thoughts, what happens is that Pippa's just saying she's trying to log me out. Pip, if you can just grab the phone when it rings, then that would be amazing. Thank you. So I don't want you to have a shitty committee. I want you to have an empowered committee. So who are the voices? Who are the voices? Because what we start to do when we separate the voice from who we are is we start to create, it's called in psychological terms, cognitive dissonance. So this is your opportunity to start to decide to switch out your committee, but label those people when they pop up. Who are those voices? Who do they belong to? And create some separation, because your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are not facts. Your thoughts are just thoughts. That is it. So, number one, compassion, everybody, is to choose self-kindness over self-judgment. You can do it with intention. Notice that we all feel these things. It's not just you, it's a we thing. How would you speak to somebody else that's on this call today? Becoming more mindful rather than buying into the stories we tell ourselves. So just getting curious and not furious about how we're thinking and feeling is really powerful. And allowing ourselves to fail forwards. We are going to mess up time and time and time again because we're human. And part of that for me is a learning experience. And if we treat these mistakes, these mishaps, these things we don't quite get right as learning opportunities, rather than beating ourselves up, that poor EA that spent 3 weeks, talking to herself in the most awful way, allow yourself to fail forwards. And I'm going to share with this recording with everybody here today, so you can do your own audit, but you might, if you've got that pen and paper, just start to think intentionally about compassionate activities as a business support professional that I notice are often lacking. So just grab some of these if they're useful to you. And it's an intention to build on, to learn more about. Set boundaries, self-care, acknowledging your efforts, limiting negative self-talk, seeking support and asking for help, taking regular breaks, pursuing personal growth, practicing mindfulness, having healthy habits, and forgiving yourself. So perhaps there's one or two intentions there that you want to grab. So how's the confidence gap showing up for you right now? And what I'm asking you when I'm asking you this is, where, if you had more confidence, what would you be doing? So where right now, how is it affecting you? What are you not doing? What are you not wearing? Who are you not asking for something? Where are you sacrificing your own needs in for somebody else? What is going on for you right now that your confidence gap is causing you or costing you? What is it costing you? Self-doubt, not being heard, making yourself smaller. Yeah, I really recognize that. Yeah, fear of public speaking. Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? Isn't just the cost absolutely enormous? Absolutely enormous. Yeah, it's too much of a cost, isn't it? Too much of a cost to have to pay. And you all deserve to live a life where you're realizing potential. And how can we possibly realize our potential when this is going on, right? It's just not fully accessible because we've got all these barriers in the way. All right. So let me start to take you through the next stage of this process. So we've talked about compassion. Let's look at courage. So our next step is courage. So we've looked at compassion. Now it's about courage. So it is in the small things. So when I first started this process myself to really build true confidence, and guess what true confidence is? It actually means in Latin, confide, with trust, with trust. So it's small acts of courage that will support you in building your confidence further once you start working on your compassion exercise. So what are the small things you could do that would take a little bit of courage and that would build self-trust? Is it a hobby? Is it talking to a colleague you don't know very well? Is it asking your boss a question? Is it asking to attend a meeting? Is it keeping promises to yourself? Well, probably the most powerful way to build self-trust, by the way, Mihaela. What is a small action with intention you could take that would help to build your courage? Because we get in our own way, don't we? And these are mine. So I have been really, really open with you. These are all of the things that got in my own way of taking small acts of courage. And of course, fear is just false evidence appearing real most of the time. And if our purpose becomes stronger than our fear, we can do anything. And when we set really clear intentions, it helps so much. Because we use language that we're listening to all the time, don't we? How many of these do you use? Oh, when you're going to talk to, so this is what I notice all the time when EAs are talking to me about how they go and talk to their stakeholders or oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Could I just grab you for 5 minutes? Or, oh, actually, I've probably got this completely wrong, but would it be okay if, or I'm sure this probably won't make sense, but or rushing through it because you're just so desperate to get it out. Yeah. Or, I mean, sorry, but yeah, we use these all the time, don't we? And the problem with these is that, well, actually, the opportunity with these is the minute you choose to drop them and switch them, or it's really important we have 5 minutes together today, or it's important we find 5 minutes together today. I have something I need to share, or I have a decision that needs to be made, and I have 3 options for you, rather than I'm so sorry, but I do need to grab you. What happens is you listen. So, and as a result, you start to feel more capable of taking acts of courage. I promise you that. I promise you that. Compassion and then courage. And courage also comes from building this language. So again, with intention, what about courage? Do you need to speak up more, set boundaries, look at embracing small amounts of change, taking a little bit of initiative, owning your mistakes? What about asking for some feedback, standing your ground, pursuing some professional development, leaning into challenging conversations, or upholding your standards, like not getting involved in gossip? So what intentionally, just pop in the chat for me, what's one of these actions around courage that you could intentionally focus on? What would that look like? Brilliant. Brilliant. All right. So we've touched on compassion and we've touched on courage. Your third step is competence. What do I mean by competence? And this is kind of like the peak of the mountain. So competence is about building your knowledge. It is so powerful at building your confidence. I promise you. And there's 2 things I'd love to share with you. The first is if you start to get really clear on your strengths, you can start to build your competence because you can really focus on what those strengths are and build them. There's a brilliant tool called a VIA Strengths Finder. It's free. It will really help you to build your competence because you'll start to get really clear on what you're good at and what you might want to focus on. And so it's called a VIA Strengths Finder. And if Anna or Pippa are online, it'd be amazing to pop that in the chat so that people can save it. Thank you, Pip. The next thing is just noticing who are the people you've got around you that help you to build your competence. I don't know about you, but in my 20s and 30s, I saw the same people. We had the same conversations. I was in an echo chamber. And often, even in the business support world or the administrative professional world, a lot of time you find that PAs tend to only network with other PAs, or PAs and EAs tend to talk to each other in communities. But actually, the opportunity is in trying to not be in an echo chamber. So looking at which groups you're part of, or perhaps where you could network differently, or different areas where you could grow a hobby, where you're going to be able to start to curate a new network where you're not in that kind of echo chamber. So getting clear on what this looks like. And remember, we're not going to go through this process today, and you are not going to pick out all of these things and tackle them at once. Today is about you finding 2 or 3 things that for you, you're going to really focus on. That's all you need to do in today's session. So we've looked at courage. We've looked at compassion. We've looked at courage. We've looked at competence, building your knowledge. So powerful for confidence. And just reflecting back on courage, one of the ways you can build your courage is to give compliments. Give a compliment to a stranger, smile at somebody, go and ask somebody in your office for a coffee that you haven't spoken to yet. Super simple ways. They'll take a bit of courage, but they're brilliant courage builders. Because success is not linear, it is not straight up. And if I told you that I have experienced crippling self-doubt, intense imposter syndrome, really powerful inner critic, and I mean, to the point where it's almost debilitating. And I couldn't even stand up in a room and introduce myself at one point. And now I speak on huge stages. Success isn't linear. And it was because I had meant certain things that had happened to me. I had made them mean really bad things about me as a person, that I wasn't worthy, that I didn't belong, that I was the odd one out. And I developed amazing masks to mask those feelings. And it was only after I left my first marriage, which is a really abusive marriage, and left with my 18-month-old and started my business. And it just slapped me in the face that unless I lent into developing true self-trust, true confidence, I was never going to be able to align my outside world and my inner world. And I was always going to have these horrible voices, that horrible shitty committee running the show. And it's taken me time and work. And so now is your time to do the work too. Well, it's a journey, Norbert's saying gave you the strength to believe in yourself in the end. And of course, it's a process. It's about doing the work, and it's about having the tools actually. And I genuinely have an inner cheerleader. And it's part of why I built the course I'm going to talk about at the end is to develop really powerful emotional intelligence. So I want to make sure that I touch on the next two stages of the journey today, definitely. And if you can just notice three things that you do well or did well every day, and sometimes it might just be I had a shower and got myself to work. Sometimes it may just be that. But finding three things a day to either feel grateful for, but for me, it's actually even more powerful to notice three ways I've had a positive impact or three things I'm proud of that day. Hugely powerful in building that sense of competence. Okay, so again, some possible actions for you, just in case these are useful before we move on to stage 4. You could develop your public speaking skills. You could learn some more AI, although actually, do you know the science is that we become less happy the more tech we use, although we need to embrace tech. It's interesting, right? Enhance your communication skills. You might want to develop stronger organizational skills or project management. Improve your time management, enhance your technical skills, build your interpersonal skills. Or seek out some more professional development opportunities, but building your competence will build your confidence. Okay, so what is the most important outcome for you when it comes to improving your confidence? So I just want you to rate these in 1 to 5, because these are all of the incredible rewards that come when you start to work on your confidence. I will come back to that question, Stu, I promise. Yeah, grounding is so powerful. We'll talk about that in just a second. Okay. So give me a rating for these. What matters to you most? How do you want this to look? What is going to benefit you most? Because you are all here today. You are all here today. And as a result of that, you are already on the way to building your confidence. But these are all of the rich rewards that will come to you as a result of doing this work. They will come to you as a result of doing this work. And do you remember we spoke about visualization earlier? When we start to see ourselves as having the possibility to become somebody with great communication skills and influence, with self-awareness, somebody that is worthy of greater opportunity and career growth, somebody that has resilience and bounce back ability, and somebody that can make great decisions, what happens is we can start to become it if we believe it's possible for us. And this is part of that reframing the way we view ourselves. Absolutely. So we have looked at, what have we looked at? We have looked at, we've looked at compassion, we've looked at courage, we've looked at competence, and here's the final slice of the pie, is curiosity. It is curiosity. So the first thing to do, which I work with EAs on all the time, is when you are feeling a feeling, or when one of those thoughts pops up, or a limiting belief is getting in your way, or perhaps you really want to go and ask for a raise or a promotion, or you want to go and speak to your boss about an idea that you have, or you want to speak up in a meeting, or you want to take on more strategic responsibilities, and that blocker comes up, so that limiting belief or the inner critic or the imposter syndrome comes up. This is a really simple process. And even Stuart, when you were saying, how do I feel more confident in a meeting, is I can share this really simple process with you, which you can do anywhere. First of all, is just to recognize how you're feeling. What is it I'm actually feeling right now? Identify it and label it. Because when we label our feelings, we disassociate, we separate ourselves from the thought. And then the second one is to accept it. It's okay to feel this way, because when we criticize ourselves for feeling a certain way, or when we try and mask, or when we try and use maladaptive coping mechanisms, it just amplifies the critical voice. So it's recognize how you're feeling, label it, accept that it's okay to feel that way because you're human. And then work on a way of investigating a reframe. What's another way I could think about this? So this is this whole point about curiosity. What's a different thought I could choose right now? And then it's about being kind to yourself. How can I support myself through this? Is it taking a breath? Is it the power of the pause? Is it just centering and feeling my feet on the ground and taking a breath and taking an act of courage? So using the RAIN process when you are feeling the big feelings is an amazing thing to do. And using the what if questions are really important, so that when we've just gone through some of those incredible rewards of building our confidence, of working on the simple things we've spoken about so far, the compassion, the courage, the competence, and now the curiosity. What is available to you if you just ask yourself, what if it all works out? What if I'm more than enough? What if I'm more than capable? What if I'm more than deserving? The what if question is so powerful for our brains. So asking more questions, getting more curious, asking more questions of others, looking for the similarities and not the differences. We're so good at looking for the differences. We're not so strong at looking for the similarities. Being explorative, questioning our thoughts, looking at how we can be more open, more compassionate, more generous with ourselves and others. Seeking feedback, reflecting on our work, cultivating a growth mindset. These are so many ways. And all of these add up to confidence. Because this is the beautiful place you reach. When you are truly confident, when you develop that deep self-trust, you get really clear that as long as you are acting in a way that does not hurt yourself and does not harm others, and where you're operating with integrity and you're showing up with the right energy, and the bottom line is that what other people think of us is none of our business. We can't control it. And when I let go of needing external validation, and when I really tapped into how I can validate myself and how I can recognize what I have to offer the world, and where I can share that, whether it resonates for some people and doesn't resonate, it uses a platform from which all things become possible. So looking at the process is really powerful, really powerful. And reminding ourselves that our feelings aren't a choice, that our feelings are just feelings, thoughts are just thoughts, but how we respond, overreact, that is always in our choice. That is always in our choice. So building your toolbox, and we've touched on tools throughout this session. This is another one you might want to take a screenshot of, is, I can talk to, so somebody that you can talk to that cheerleads you. What's an idea that might help you? What's an activity that helps you? What's music that inspires you? Where have I noticed that I've made progress over perfection? So I'm going to ask you that now. I'd love you to answer in the chat box one of these questions. So just answer one of them. Who can you talk to that cheerleads you? What's an idea that helps you? What's an activity that helps you? Just choose one of these and pop them in the chat. What's a piece of music that inspires you? What's some progress over perfection? Running activity. I love this. Yes, great. Fantastic. I absolutely love this. Ah, brilliant. Yes. Okay, so tuning into your toolbox is also massively helpful. I also use I've got a aromatherapy roller with oh, for goodness sake, what's the smell of it? Mint. And the smell of mint is amazing at helping me to refocus and reframe. So you can use smell, you can use visuals, you can use movement, all ways that help us build our capability for confidence. And a few of you have just sent me messages directly about what Anna's just shared. She's absolutely right. We have 256 amazing professionals, support staff professionals in our membership. Our membership has been closed for a little while. We are going to be reopening it shortly. Anna, would you just mind putting the link in there again? Sorry, I've got lots of people asking me in the Q&A box if we can share it again. So if you could just pop that in there again, that would be brilliant. Pippa or Anna, that would be amazing if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Okay, so here is your process. Now, if it was simple, it would be easy. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. And if everyone was doing it, we'd all feel perfectly confident and comfortable in our own skin. So it is going to take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes. But action will absolutely, with intention, take you through this process. And Alison, that is okay because that you can work on building that toolbox. You can work on building that toolbox. That is the opportunity. All right. So now we've got one final part of today's session, but just before we do that, I want to check in. What is one action you are absolutely committing to that you are going to take from today's session? What is one action you are absolutely committed to? And this is your accountability moment. This is your opportunity to truly show up and commit to yourself that you are absolutely going to look to build your confidence by either focusing on compassion or courage or curiosity or competence. This is wonderful. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. This is so exciting because I know just how much this is going to affect your life for the better. I know that every single aspect of what you're committing to right now is going to positively impact your life. Absolutely wonderful. I am so sing opera again, James. That is just wonderful. Just wonderful. I am so thrilled. So thrilled. Yeah, you guys are amazing. That is true. So, and Taj just asking, what does RAIN stand for? It's recognize, accept, investigate, and nurture. Recognize, accept, investigate, and nurture. Okay, so what have I spent the last 2 years developing? Well, a certification, a course that is transformational in emotional intelligence, because emotional intelligence and your confidence, they're one and the same. As you build your emotional intelligence in all of the aspects we've just described, you will absolutely build your confidence, your courage, your capability. And it's one of the top 5 most desired skills according to the Future of Work report by the World Economic Forum. So here we are. Emotional Intelligence 360. I'm so excited to share this with you. We have I can't remember how many, but we have an amazing group of executive assistants, administrative professionals, chief of staff, team assistants, personal assistants that have signed up already, because as part of this emotional intelligence course, you will be able to learn how to become far more self-aware, self-regulate, build social awareness, manage relationships, and build your resilience. You'll be able to communicate with far more impact. You'll be able to make better decisions. You'll be able to navigate conflict, change, challenge, build your confidence every single step of the way. And absolutely, without a doubt, you will be able to lean into lots more opportunity, promotion, new roles, salary raises, all of the above. So inside the course is short video lessons, practical tools, reflection prompts, lifetime access, an online community, and opportunities to join me in live workshops, face-to-face, and network with this amazing community of learners. And these 8 modules are all broken down for you. So I'm so excited to share the course with you. I'm so excited to welcome you. And I'd love to see you there. So we would be so thrilled if you would join us. We have tried to make the course at a cost point which is break even pretty much at the moment for you. And we've got it at our lowest price point right now. And this is what one of the students who has just taken the course has just said. Oh, Elizabeth, you already signed up. I'm so excited. I can't wait to welcome you. That's amazing. That's incredible. But this will change your professional and personal life in every single way. We're absolutely thrilled to say it is CPD certified. Oh, Charlotte, you're signed up too. This is so exciting. I can't wait to welcome you, and I can't wait for you to all network with each other. Amazing. But this will be massively powerful. It's the #1 skill that all of our clients are asking for. And it's also the most important skill you can possibly develop for your ability to realize your potential and build your confidence. I've designed it for you. You can start the course. You can ask as many questions as you like. So and we have payment plans, and it's not thousands of pounds. It's not even £1,000, nowhere near that amount of investment. We wanted to make it really accessible, but I have poured my heart and soul into it, and I think the fact that it's certified by CPD, so that it's a qualification in emotional intelligence, is really, really powerful. And Ivana's just asking where she can sign up. Would you mind sharing the link again, please? So the aspects of the course are 8 different modules. And at every single stage of completion in those modules, you are going to find your ability to speak up, to hold boundaries, to express yourself and communicate effectively, to build your resilience, to really be able to notice what's going on for others in a way that enables you to lean into that. You're going to be able to manage your ability to handle change and challenge, which this world is changing faster than we've ever known before. That will be hugely different, a huge differentiator for you. So I always have this kind of like, oh, I always feel a bit awkward whenever we're sharing something around sales, because it's you know, it's not necessarily my most comfortable space, but I know the course is incredible. The reviews that we've had are amazing. So it launches tomorrow. It doesn't mean you have to start tomorrow. You'll have lots of touch points with me all the way through, and we will have live sessions that are ongoing that you'll be able to drop into. But it's an online course. It's accessible whenever you want the course. Yvonne's just asking a question. Do you want to pop it in the chat or pop it in the Q&A? Oh, thank you, Marianne. I've got my own little cheerleaders in here. Thank you so much. But I would love to welcome you. And I think the fact that we've got so many of you that have joined up that are starting tomorrow, it will be your ready-made network. And it's not going to be some crazy huge group. So you'll have the opportunity to join a smaller group where you can get to know one another, feel supported. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. And you'll have that chance to leave with a qualification that's massively in demand, and have all of these benefits to your professional and personal life too. So I'm really glad, Anna, it's been helpful today. And do go and explore the course. We'd love to welcome you. I'd really love you to take advantage of the 30% discount, and to join all of the other people that are starting the course after this week. And I'm so pleased to be able to share with you some of my tips and tricks, something that I know works, and I'm my best student, so I know these things work. And thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll share all of the details with you that you're asking for. And thank you for your time. I know it's your most precious resource, and you are more than enough. I promise you that. I know that. And have a great rest of your day. You guys take care, and I'll look forward to speaking to you very soon indeed. Very soon indeed. Bye, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Speak to you soon.